across as a dramatic diplomatic push, where President of the United States says that he hosted the Ukrainian President Zelensky, the French President Macron, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, German Chancellor Merz and other top EU leaders at the White House, where the NATO chief was also present, and so was the EU Commission President, also joined in the talks. Now, Donald Trump says that these discussions seem to be centered across security guarantees for Ukraine to be coordinated between Europe and the US. Now, as far as when it comes to this meeting was taking place, it is being reported that right in the middle, Donald Trump chose to have a lengthy conversation with the president of Russia, as the live briefing that was also being given to him. Remember the meeting that ended in Alaska, but with no outcome as far as when it comes to ending the war. But let's put out exactly when it comes to one of the multiple statements that have been made by President Trump. He goes on to say that I had a very good meeting with distinguished guests like President Zelenskyy of Ukraine, President Emmanuel Macron of France, President Alexander Stubb of Finland, Prime Minister Meloni of Italy, Prime Minister Keir Starmer of United Kingdom, Chancellor of the Federal Republic of Germany, President of the European Commission, Secretary General of NATO, at the White House, which ended in a further meeting in the Oval Office. Now, during the meeting, we discussed the security guarantees for Ukraine, which guarantees would be provided by various European countries, and this is coming with coordination with the United States of America. Everyone is very happy with the possibility of peace for Russia and Ukraine. He's highlighted there in caps. At the conclusion of the meeting, I called President Putin and began the arrangements for a meeting at the location to be determined between President Zelensky and myself. This is for a trilateral that after the two presidents plus myself, again, this was a very good and early step for war that has now been going on for almost 4 years. Vice President Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, and coordinating with Russia and Ukraine, where he has thanked all of the individuals as far as when it comes to playing a major role and mediating between the two warring nations. Let's go back to Rishabh on this. Rishabh, as far as the mentioning that has been done by Donald Trump, this is now coming at a time where there has been a long phone conversation that also happened in the middle of the meeting while he was holding that meeting with the relevant European stakeholders, but Russian president was also aware of what's happening at the White House.
Well, definitely. See, Donald Trump do understand that this is something where U.S. has, yes, a limited stake, and main ball lies in the court of Russia and Ukraine, and both the sides will have to come on the same page if Donald Trump has to go ahead with the peace plan that he has proposed. But now the main thing is whether the United States or Washington has taken Zelensky way too much for granted, that yes, he will agree to all the land swap agreements with Russia, or will it be just like, you know, the way 2014 happened, where Crimea was annexed by Russia and nothing much could have been done by Ukraine. So that is something that is yet to be seen. Yes, that if the trilateral meeting happens, that will be a breakthrough. See, trilateral meeting will not happen the way the last Oval meeting happened. It is not that all the three will come there and then decide what to do. All the three countries will decide what to do, and then only if there is a positive outcome, they all will come on the same table to take you iron out the
humiliating for Zelensky previously when he was present at the White House. But this time he came armed, of course, dressed up as well in a sharp suit, but armed when it comes to the European leaders who were present with him. As far as when it comes to the previous Alaska meeting that happened, remember, at that point in time, President Trump said and put the ball in the court of Ukraine that it is up to Zelensky now. But this time, that has been the main theme of this meeting, is not for a call for a ceasefire. Here is the leaders who have come together for security guarantees of Kyiv, and also saying that what they're looking out for is lasting peace. Please to stay on with us, Rishabh. Mr. Fabian is also connected. A very good morning to you, Mr. Fabian. When we speak of these meetings that has been taking place in the White House, what do you believe would be the possible outcome? Do you see it as a positive progress?
Is that question to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's very briefly. In Alaska, Putin had his way, and President Trump agreed with President Putin that what is required is, quote, a peace deal, which includes a ceasefire and not a ceasefire to start with, to be followed by negotiations. And now in Washington, President Trump had his way, and the presence of the Europeans, starting with President of France, Prime Minister of UK, EU President, and others, did not make much of a difference. And we can see that this is how geopolitics works.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Fabian. Appreciate you joining us. As